Viruses are much smaller than bacteria, which are tiny living things that can also make us sick. In fact, viruses are so small that they can fit inside bacteria. Viruses are so small that if you lined up 1,000,000 of them, they would barely be as thick as a piece of paper. Viruses are not alive in the same way that we are. They can't eat, grow, or reproduce on their own. Instead, they need to find a host cell to do all those things for them. Think of a virus like a sneaky little pirate looking for a ship to plunder. What do a spiky ball, a spaceship, and a coiled-up snake have in common? They are all shapes that viruses can have. Viruses are masters of disguise. They come in all shapes and sizes, but they all have one thing in common. They are made up of genetic material, DNA or RNA, surrounded by a protective protein coat. Think of the protein coat like a disguise that helps the virus sneak into a cell. This genetic material is like a set of instructions that tells the cell what to do. The protein coat can be smooth or bumpy, and it can have spikes or other attachments that help the virus to stick to cells. Some viruses even have an extra layer of fat around them, called an envelope. This envelope helps the virus to hide from our immune system. Imagine the envelope as a cloak of invisibility that the virus wears. Viruses can't reproduce on their own, so they need to find a host cell to do it for them. Think of a host cell like a factory that the virus can take over. Once a virus finds a host cell, it attaches itself to the cell's surface and injects its genetic material inside. The virus's genetic material takes over the cell's machinery and forces it to make copies of the virus. Soon, the cell is filled with thousands of new viruses. These new viruses then burst out of the cell, ready to infect other cells, and start the process all over again. This process of infection can make us sick. Our bodies recognize the virus as an invader and try to fight it off. This can cause symptoms like fever, cough, and runny nose. Our bodies are amazing fighting machines. We have a complex immune system that is always on the lookout for invaders like viruses. Our immune system is made up of special cells that can recognize and destroy viruses. One type of cell, called a white blood cell, can engulf and destroy viruses. Another type of cell, called a T cell, can kill virus-infected cells. Our bodies also produce special proteins called antibodies that can stick to viruses and neutralize them. Once our immune system has defeated a virus, it remembers how to fight it off in the future. This is why we usually don't get sick from the same virus twice. Vaccines work by introducing a weakened or inactive form of a virus to our immune system. This helps our bodies to develop immunity without actually getting sick. So next time you get sick, remember that your body is fighting off millions of tiny invaders.